Neil Young, environmental and political activist, philanthropist, world-renowned musician, and also a great Canadian. Welcome. My name is Mickey Kiss, and I represent Stevensville Public School of the District School Board of Niagara. This year, my Heritage Bear project is on the great Canadian icon, Neil Young. Neil Young is one of the best known and most influential musicians in the world. He began writing music over 45 years ago. Neil Young was born on November 12, 1945 in Toronto, Ontario, to his parents Rassie and Scott Young. Neil grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It was here in Winnipeg that Neil created his first band called the Jades in junior high school. In 1963, Neil Young created the band The Squires. He dropped out of high school and soon began performing in Fort William, which is now known as Thunder Bay. Neil Young moved to the United States of America in 1966 with his friend Bruce Palmer, who was also a bass guitar player. It was here in the United States of America that Neil and Bruce Palmer co-founded the band The Buffalo Springfield. Members of the Buffalo Springfield include Dewey Martin, Richie Furay, Stephen Stills, Bruce Palmer, and Neil Young. Although the Buffalo Springfield didn't last long, they grew to have many followers who really appreciated their very instrumental music. After the Buffalo Springfield's first album, they managed to release 2 more albums before their separation. The Buffalo Springfield again in 1967, and Last Time Around in 1968. After the Buffalo Springfield in the late 1960s, Neil again went his own way in music and embarked on a solo career while backed up by the group Crazy Horse. This would only be temporary, however, as in 1969, Neil formed up with former Springfield member Stephen Stills, and they joined Graham Nash and David Crosby to form Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Aside from music, in his personal life, Neil has 2 sons, Ben, his younger son, and Zeke, his older son. Neil Young also has a daughter named Amber. Unfortunately, both of his sons suffer from cerebral palsy. Neil Young's life also consisted of him being very economically active. For example, just recently, Neil commented on the Alberta tar sands, saying that Fort McMurray looked like Hiroshima. He also stated how the fumes of fossil fuels are everywhere and making people sick with cancer and other terrible diseases. Neil Young isn't short of any controversy, however. As in 1970, Neil released the album After the Gold Rush, which featured the song Southern Man. Southern Man is a very controversial song because in it, Neil Young states, "I saw cotton and I saw black, tall-white mansions and little shacks." This is referring to the slavery, racism, and discrimination that took place in the southern states of America over 100 years ago. Over time, Neil obtained the nickname the Godfather of Grunge by fans because of how effective his music was during the 1990s. Over the course of Neil's musical career, he has received many awards. Some of these awards being Oscar Awards, Grammy Awards, Academy Awards, and even Genie Awards. Neil Young has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once in 1995 for his solo work, and a second time in 1997 with the Buffalo Springfield. Also, Neil Young has released almost 50 albums during his musical career. His first album being Neil Young in 1968, to his most recent album being A Letter Home in 2014. Overall, I think all Canadians should know about Neil Young because he has been a great Canadian ambassador over the course of his career. He also is a big influence on Canadian youth such as myself. At this time, I'd like to show you how Neil Young has influenced me in my musical career. I'm going to play you the song Sugar Mountain, one of Neil Young's classics. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can be 20 on Sugar Mountain. No, you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon. It's so noisy at the fair, but all of your friends are there. And the candy floss your hair, and your mother and your dad. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can be 20 on Sugar Mountain. Though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. Thank you.